Now let's move to the next, the taxable person from the person for the corporate tax. Earlier we seen that natural person and the juridical person. We have to understand that which are the taxable person for the corporate tax. Let's move to the next. Taxable person overview. We are going to see here who is the taxable person for corporate tax person. Juridical person. That juridical person, normally we say that is the companies. For under the common understanding, we are saying the LLC, LLP, the public joint stock company, and some other form of the companies are also there. So, but the important part, the company juridical person can be resident, can be non-resident. So there will be different guideline, different compliance, how to proceed with that. Similar, the natural person can be resident or non-resident. Accordingly, there's some difference or some compliance are there. Maybe resident will get the benefit and non-resident may not get benefit, but we have to see on the each taxable person, what are the benefits are available. Now, real estate income for both juridical and the natural person may be subject to corporate tax under certain scenario. Because earlier we discussed the natural person, if they have property under their own name, they will get the exemption. The real estate income for the exemption means this is natural person have the real estate, it will be exempt. They will not fall under the taxable income. They will not consider under the business income for the real estate. But if the same person having the company and the property is under company, then it will fall under the corporate tax. So this is what they're saying. The companies, the different scenario, they may fall under the corporate tax. Let's move to the next. Natural person. When the natural person is subject to corporate tax. Natural person, if they conduct business or any business activity in UAE. And now here we are again seeing the salaries and wages and personal investment, and the real estate under personal name that are not subject to corporate tax, that we are not discussing. Even below here we are saying they conduct business and the business activity. In the beginning we discussed the corporate tax on the companies, juridical person, and the business income or the business activity. Maybe the companies or any other form of the company or any other natural person who have the business activity. So they are subject to corporate tax. Now under natural person, we have to see which are the business activities subject to corporate tax. But before that, the government, the UAE authorities, they give the natural person relief. What is the natural person relief? The natural person relief, they said, okay, even the natural person, they are having the business activity or business income. But if it's less than 1 million in a calendar year, calendar year is a Gregorian calendar year, Jan to December. There is no other calendar year. There is no other accounting period. For the natural person accounting period, tax period, it will be Gregorian calendar year, and that is January to December. So now for the natural person, if your income, but here is the important part, which income they have to consider, that we will discuss in detail, because natural person maybe have multiple business. So they have to add all the business to test this relief rule. If all the income from all the activities, so they add over there and then they see if it's less than 1 million or more than 1 million. So this is the carefully evaluate and calculate before taking the call. Even a natural person, you can take the natural person, you can offer the natural person, but still you have to be careful while calculating the threshold. Here the threshold on revenue. Here not on profit. This is the important part. Next, we are saying that what is the corporate tax base. Again, we already discussed the same income from the business or business activity, income from outside the UAE, if related to the UAE business. The base we are already discussing he's doing, and the same we are saying this is the corporate tax base. Whether a natural person is resident. Now we have residence. Normally we say the residence under the corporate tax, the residence rules are there. We have to see the residence. Normally we are living here, the common understanding, most of people are saying, okay, 180 days live in the country, you are tax resident. But Each tax jurisdiction, they have their own compliance. Here we will see what are the huge corporate tax residence compliance and how you will get the benefit if the multinational companies, the companies running in more than one countries, they may take the benefit from the corporate tax. And even the natural person who are living in another country also, they might apply for the tax residence status, and they can get the exemption from their home country or any other country where they are living. There are certain criteria that will be helpful the people to understand and learn, because you can propose to your ownership management, okay, this is the benefit available. We can avail this benefit to claim this corporate tax exemption based on the tax residence, but we'll go through in detail. Next, the earlier we were discussing the natural person. Now we are discussing the juridical person. The juridical person, again, the same resident person and non-resident person. Now we are here seeing the juridical person incorporated or otherwise established or recognized in the UAE. Here, the important part, we have to understand the incorporated or otherwise established. Otherwise established is a broader definition. We will see some cases during the down the lines, what are the established and recognized in the UAE. This definition is a comprehensive. It's difficult to understand over here without example what is established, because if the company has international company established in UK, they have the branch here. So this is called the other way established or recognized. This is the PE, Nexus. So there is a many formats that we have to see over here. Then another is a point, the place of effective management. Mostly the people are is not familiar with the point, place of effective management. Because the effective management, if maybe the company is established in the another part of the world, maybe UK, Bahrain, or any other part. So, but the operation is running from here. Operation are running because what are the operation? The key management or the decision making of the company management is available in the UAE. If it's available in UAE, so that may fall under the point, place of effective management, that may fall under the corporate tax. But we will discuss such things in detail later on. Juridical person that is incorporated or established, and the legislation and effectively manage and control in the UAE. Just now we are discussing this part. Now the next, whether a foreign company is effectively managed or controlled in UAE. This is important, depends on the facts and the circumstances. Key determination, factor, strategic management, commercial decision are regular and they predominant in the UAE. Thus now we have the overview of this. So these are the key points that we have to consider. Even the company is not in UAE, is registered in a foreign jurisdiction, but is effectively managed and controlled in the UAE, that we have to see based on that. But there may be some cases effectively, because like take the example, because person we have the COVID pandemic. If the person is stuck in the UAE due to some such pandemic situation that may not satisfy this rule, that may not fall under this effective management. But again, we have to give the justification. We have to see on that. Normally, we're discussing such matters. This is the most of the queries or question is coming. How the authorities will know the company effectively managed and controlled from the UAE, although all the operations, bank accounts, and the business operation is outside UAE. See, the government authorities who design the tax policies, they have the depth of the such compliance and regulation and the control measure. They know how to track that. So we don't have to think that way. We have to think positive and try to comply with the regulation. That much appreciated to have the peace to the management as well as to the profession also, where we belongs to that. Because in each professional body, the ethical corporate ethics, the business ethics, we are part of that. We are binding to the ethical code of conduct. So each professional body, they have their own code of conduct. Anyhow, let's move to the next. Juridical person, non-resident person. Earlier, we seen the resident. Now we are seeing the non-resident person. Now, a non-resident person is a person who is not considered a resident in resident person in the UE. Now we are talking about the UE corporate tax. So we will consider the resident from the UE perspective, because otherwise this understanding of the residence, because some a participant may have the companies or sister companies in the other part of the world. So do not mix with that. So we are talking about the UE corporate tax. We will consider from the UE perspective the resident person. Maybe the non-resident person who is not UE resident, so has a PE in UE. PE is again, there is a comprehensive topic for understanding. Maybe most of participants familiar through the VAT, because VAT also covered the PE concept. The fixed PE, normally we call the fixed PE, maybe they have opened the branch over here in the UE, or they have the fixed place of business. Next is the dependent agent. Dependent agent. The dependent agent, we normally we understand in a way, if the company is outside UE, any part of the world, but they have one person through they are doing the business, and that person is doing working for them. They are negotiating the contract for that company. If they are negotiating the contract for that company, I'm just holding over here because some participant is marking over there. Let me understand if something, the queries they have it, or they have any other thing that we need to understand that. Mr. Iftikhar, would you please confirm everything is fine, or they have some thing to be asking for clarification? Anyway, let's move to the next. I appreciate if avoid the marking on the screen, because name also appearing the participant. So here we seen the agent. We are discussing the agent, the dependent agent, and if the company have the person inside UE and they negotiating the contract on behalf of them, and without material modification, they are signing the contract. So they are also part of the dependent agent P. Again, they are subject to UE corporate tax. Why we are reading here subject to UE corporate tax? The fixed place P we discussed because such entities will be corporate tax in UE. Then the next is the Nexus, income from immovable property in the UE. If the company is having the property in UE, they are generating the income, and the property real estate is their main operation. If the real estate is their main operation, so income generated from this, it will be subject to corporate tax. If the natural person or the non-resident person, if they have the property, non-resident person have the property in UE, but this is not the major income, sorry, the main business, because they can invest here, that may not subject to corporate tax. But if the core income generating activity of the operation is the real estate, it will be subject to corporate tax. And even the company who have only one property as an investment, that some certain guideline also there that may not fall under the corporate tax. Let's move to the next.